Fact, retail is what it's all about today. Don't let the market fool you guys. Unchanged, it was up huge. Here to help us figure it all out, our old friend Jim Frischling is back, president of NewOak Capital. Jobs guru, Joni Courtney, senior. I got to tell you, Jim, this was an interesting session in the sense that it closed flat. And when people look on their Blackberries or their iPhones or whatever, they'll say, they're not inconsequential. There was a lot of big movers today.
I think given the slow U.S. economic news we had, I think the market actually held up pretty well. You mentioned Russia and some of the concerns about weaponry moving into the Ukraine region. You know, the Bank of England issued their quarterly inflation report talking about more concerns in the Eurozone. And you had the banks getting hit, a bunch of U.S. and European banks getting hit with the whole manipulation and the FX scandal. And lastly, I know I've been kind of too much of obsessed with the Fed, but the president of the Philly Fed, he's talking about rates need to move sooner. So I think the market held up very well, considering there were some negative headlines.
Nobody cares about those Fed stuff anymore. All right. Now, I think everybody's a fan of small businesses. I know I am. But it seems like, well, either they're going out on a huge limb right here, or they must see something really big and better than just this upcoming Small Business Saturday promotion. So, Jim, what do you think is happening?
I mean, look, we have just about 100 employees, so I think we're still a relatively small business, and I will tell you that we are very optimistic.
I would put successful small business. At 100 employees, I tip my hat to you.
Well, stop it. You're embarrassing. But no, we are optimistic about our business, about the prospects, and as a result, we are hiring, we are investing, and we're spending money. And we've been talking on your show how there's almost a fear factor about investing in the markets, and entrepreneurial spirit is on the dip. I want to challenge that. There has really never been a better time, in my opinion, to be a small business. The technology,
you want to challenge the numbers or just the idea that people out there are afraid, or they shouldn't be afraid?
They should not be afraid. With the resources, the technology, the talent is abound. And really, it enables a small business to compete with the establishment. And again, getting your name out there, getting the message out there, it's not to say there isn't a role for huge businesses, but for small businesses, the agility, it's really a powerful tool right now.
Last real deal. There's a lot of money to be made on this, guys. I'm telling you, there's a lot of businesses that cater to small business. Take Vistaprint. This stock is up over 400% from the November 2008 low. You've seen the commercials every single day watching this network. You never bought the stock. But let's talk about it now. Let's talk about ways to make big money off small businesses. I want to start with you, Jim. Some ideas here, because catering to these businesses who are putting out big-time money on capital outlays, they're hiring people, there's a lot of money to be made.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't think I could predict a Vista-type return of 400+%, but we were talking about ADP, the HR benefits administrator, and as small companies want to get, higher, they're not going to want to maintain their own HR staff. Absolutely. They're not going to want to do this internally. They want to make sure they're protected.
Man, look at that chart. We should have done this segment a month ago. Look at that break. My goodness.
But small companies are going to use ADP because that's a very good protection. It also gives their employees a major benefit provider, which they're going to appreciate.
What do you think, Matt? I have more than a dozen employees myself, and I love this advice, okay? I think society has been sold a narrative that outsiders, right? The government, your boss, your parents, it's all their part to make you happy, and you have no role or responsibility. All right, Jim, where do you come down on this?
I actually really love this question, and I was recently played the game of Family Feud at one of my company's town hall meetings. There are only two answers on the fictitious board to the following question: where do you spend the most time? The second answer was in bed. And the first answer was at work. And my point there is, if you're happy where you go to work and you're happy where you lay your head, whoever that is with, the fact is you have 2/3 to 3/4 of your day covered. So be positive, be high energy, embrace challenges. And if you're unhappy at work, vote with your feet.
I'm glad I wasn't playing, because I'd have hit in the bathroom and got one of those X's.